What's up? This is the second video on my YouTube channel, and I'll pretty much be going over investing in yourself and investing in finance. So I'll just start with investing in yourself. In my last video, if you saw it, you saw how I mentioned Instagram and social media and how it in its entirety it'll basically mess with your head. Some days you'll be feeling amazing. Some days you go on Instagram and you'll see, oh, I can't be like this person, and I don't have this, and I don't have these things that other people have, and you go on this sort of spiral on comparing yourself to other people. And I went through this too. I went through this for a very, very long time. Maybe starting in middle school once I actually did start in getting interested in social media, and I realized that this wasn't healthy and that this made me sort of miserable, especially being able to just go onto like an athlete's or just somebody very influential's Instagram page and just go like, damn, I don't have anything compared to them. Or maybe I accidentally find someone's account and they're like around the same age as me, and I'm like, damn, I'm so far behind. What's the point of this? And I went out of my way to really force myself to delete Instagram and just be alone with my thoughts and go like, I'm my own person. I have to work at my own pace, and whatever I can do will at least be better than doing absolutely nothing, like going on social media and just sort of rotting in the landscape. So I went out and I started becoming more active, started going to the gym more, started going, playing soccer, just being entirely just more active in taking care of myself. And I recently started reading books again, and it felt really nice being able to just sit there with my own thoughts and not have to worry about what's going on in the news or the latest meme or some sort of drama. It felt really refreshing and I felt revitalized. And this sort of gets on the second topic I sort of brought up in the beginning, that finance, investing in finance, like stocks. And I know people in my generation, Gen Z, at least me, are around like, the what recently turned adults, and the economy isn't the best. But we have to do our best, obviously. And I realized that not many people like to think about their future and specifically investing. Um, I myself also believe once I started getting into this investing thing that I thought was only for rich people, and you had to pay a lot of money for these accounts to open them and to put your money into these, companies like Google and Apple and stuff like that. And really, it isn't. I think there's just a lot of noise, especially when it comes to finance, and you know, being on social media probably won't help either. So being able to disconnect from social media will really help you if you really do want to at least help your traction onto getting a better future. And it took me maybe a couple months for me to really understand and just go in depth with what investing is and how it can change my life. And I saw that what regular Bank of America savings account, it's like 0.01%, and if you put like $5,000 in that, that's like what, a dollar or something. It's like nothing significant compared to if you were to open this thing called a high yield savings account, which will give you a interest rate up to like maybe 4-5%. And let's say you were to put the same amount of money in the Bank of America account and the high yield savings account, you'd be getting around maybe 10 times, maybe 9 times what you'd be getting on the high yield savings account than the Bank of America account, just because it gives more interest. And these things I wasn't taught at all in school. The most I was taught was credit card debt and to not do it. And not to throw shade at my teacher, but she was in credit card debt. So I kind of felt like people were like, oh, maybe it's a bit normalized. Or a lot of people, some people that I know are in debt as well. And it was really sad to see them have to struggle sometimes with it. It's like a house or a car loan, and I don't wish to be in that situation, nor do I wish for them to be in that situation. So I want to be able to provide this information that investing, whether it's in stocks or opening a high-yield savings account, which are both completely free, can really help your life. It'll make things so much easier. You won't have to worry about if you'll be able to afford these things or unable to really get in the nitty-gritty with your finances. And recently, a couple weeks ago, I started tracking my finances. So I'll track how much I get every week. I'll see how much my expenses are, like necessities, like gas, because I have to drive to work and all that. Sometimes maybe I'll get some food, and maybe like some other things, discretionary things, maybe like dog food or something, occasionally, if I'm able to. And I'll be tracking those things, and I'll see, oh, I only spend a couple, maybe $100 a week, or sorry, a month, not a week. We would be insane. But like a month, I'll spend like maybe like $200 or $300, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm spending this much a month, and what I make a week is more than that. So I'm able to allocate as much as I possibly can to my investments, into that savings account I mentioned earlier, the higher yield savings account, and able to get these crazy returns on my money, and I just let them sit in the market, and yeah, I have the chance of losing my money, but I think it's better than just letting my money sit there and not gain in value. And I just realized I didn't really get into stocks, but yeah, stocks like Google or Apple or something of the sort, really popular companies. They are basically stocks, and these stocks are held on the New York Stock Exchange, which is the market. And on that market, you can trade, which means you can buy or sell these stocks at a certain price, and you get money for it. And I opened an account with Fidelity. Fidelity is one of the big brokers that you can go with. It could be Fidelity, Vanguard, Robinhood, Schwab, all these other different companies, but I chose Fidelity. And I saw that, if I invest in this thing called an index fund, which is essentially a huge basket of these stocks, and if I were to invest in specifically the S&P 500 index fund that I saw on Fidelity, I would own the top 500 U.S. stocks, and my money would be distributed to them via their market cap, which we could say example would be like maybe 10% to Apple, because it has like a couple $billion of market cap. So the more value it has, the more value will be put into that stock. And I put my money into there, and at first I was like, I only have like this, $100. I doubt it's gonna turn anything. The next day it turned into $5, and then the next month turned into 20, and then during last year around March time, I saw that Trump did his Independence Day, and he said that I'm gonna be doing all these tariffs on these different countries, and I saw stock market go down, and I was like, oh my god, man, I'm losing so much money right now. But I thought to myself, all these videos I've watched, they've always told me, hold. If you hold, once this crisis is over, you will make the most returns that you could possibly can. There's a track record where the worst days of the market are followed by some of the best days, upwards of 20% in the market increase, which in a year, the market will average about 7 or 8 on the high end, and maybe 5% on the low, depends really. And I held, and I saw my money like almost double. And I was like, wait, this investing thing really could work. This could really help me. I won't have to work until I'm like 70 or something, and rely on Social Security, which might not even last until I'm of that age, because Social Security running out like what, 19? Sorry, not 19. 2040, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm really not too sure, but I know it'll expire before I turn even like 30. And being able to invest and have my money work for me while I'm like sleeping or something, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It could be a couple hundred, maybe $1,000. But I realized that the two most important things are investing is be consistent and don't get emotional. If you're consistent, doesn't matter how much you put. It could be $1, $5, $7. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. 10 even a week or a day. You'll be significantly better than you would be just letting that money just sit there. And to not get emotional, I know that's really hard, especially with money. I know everything has gone very expensive, such as houses and cars and groceries, and I've seen how much this has also like affected the people around me, and sometimes me myself, where I'm like, what the heck? Why are these eggs like this amount of money? I thought they were a lot cheaper, but that's just how the economy goes, and you just can't get emotional about this. If you let your emotions run high and rely on them to make judgment, I've seen that it does some really bad things. You'll mess up and you'll regret it, and you won't be able to do anything sometimes because maybe it's just too late. You realize too late. And yeah, I didn't think that I would ever really go down the path of personal finance, and being able to help this, or being able to spread this awareness with people that I know and I love, and being able to do it on YouTube, which is amazing. And I realize that just being able to speak of something that I have an interest in, and that this can really help people, it isn't a waste. That this will be a really good opportunity to help those that really want to know, and those that are able to take action. That's the hardest part, 100%. Being able to start is the hardest thing, because you're scared, or you just don't believe what I'm saying, or what people are saying, or what the news is saying. But trust me, you just have to try it out. Don't regret this at all, but you need to be prepared to lose money. Not saying that you will always lose money, but understand that there's a chance that you will lose money, and this is a personal belief. I believe that it would be better for me to lose money than to have my money not gain any value. But that's just me. I'm not too sure who's watching this, but that's what I think, and that's pretty much it for this video. Just want to go over things that I thought were really important to me, and how this can really help you, and that's pretty much it. See you guys.